Really not getting the result I was hoping for with this. So, these first panels are experiments for the most part, and we're gonna see if spraying them helps keep them in place. So, spray foam it is. So, recapping, I've pretty much done all the major paneling, but I haven't really done all these nooks and crannies and all these crevices and holes. Like, I have all my wires coming through here, so I don't know that I'm going to really do much about that. But I'm just questioning how to fill up all these big gaps that I have, you know, like along the floorboards here. You know, I started stuffing some small pieces into some of the holes. I think for this type of stuff, I was originally filling them and then doing great stuff foam, you know, filling them to the greatest extent that I could. But these pockets go down really deep into the hull of the car. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take board at an angle and cut that down and position it, and then just spray foam the edges kind of so it's more continuous into the floor from the panels here. So that'll be fine for like this type of edge. I can stuff a little bit of foam in there, and then I think do some great stuff to kind of fill that up, similar to how I did over in kind of these corners here. But then I need to figure out these big gaps, which I haven't quite determined, you know, what I'm going to do about these. I have some wires running in here for like the lights, so I don't really want to mess with those too much. You know, I still want to have access to these things. So I got to figure that out, and same with like these giant holes up here. I do have the Great Stuff Big Gaps filler, so I may use that on some of the really big gaps, but I hear it expands a ton, and I don't really want to warp some of the metal if that's a potential possibility. So I'm going to start tackling this and then hopefully be done with the insulation soon, maybe this week if I can. I've got a couple of days before I head to Nova Scotia with my friend Kelly, and then I want to be working on the paneling and finishing up like the fan in the back and all those types of things in Canada. Okay, so I am going to, for some of these big gaps on the side, I'm going to leverage just putting foam in place and then spray foaming, kind of like to cover up the surface, knowing that I have wiring running beneath it. I think it'll be okay, because if I needed to, I'll have like a corner panel here that I can take off, and then this stuff, since it's just not like adhesive, but just spray foamed in place, I should be able to break it apart and get to the wiring if I ever need to. At least that's going to be my hope. So I started kind of doing that around some of the corners, some of the edges where there's wiring running behind here, so there's like wiring for the lights coming back through here. And I'm not really sealing them off fully, but putting a little insulation there. Still got to figure out these big, giant gaping holes, but at least for the corners, that's what I'll do, and that should be okay. Just going to measure up the area here for the box to build around the wheel well here, and then I'm going to fill it with spray insulation, so that'll all be covered with some. Panel 1 done, now to the sides. Alright, so one box is in, screwed down. It's not beautiful, but it'll work. Now I just need to get to work on my spray insulation. So I've been doing this paneling on the side, but I also got some Reflectix, and what I want to do is just to kind of, for redundancy purposes, I want to line these sides with the Reflectix. I did that on this like side panel here that opens up, which I'm not sure if you can see it kind of in that camera angle, sort of. So I've got another one here that's going to go on the back left side of the van over an area where there is just these big open holes, and I put Reflectix on the back since I don't really want to stuff that with insulation, since there's a lot of wires that go to like the backlights and stuff there, and I want access to that. Also, I figure I can like stuff jackets and stuff down there. Just to show you kind of what I'm talking about, I can stuff jackets and other things down there. So these panels are just going to go over these, and I got the Reflectix on the back just to kind of help as much as I can with the moisture. So here's a panel in place. Here's access to the holes. Not crazy thick access because of this limited hinging, but it is something. So I want to put the Reflectix on the back panels of those, and then I also have this panel for up underneath the kitchen that's going to go up there. So I'm going to line this with Reflectix right now, and then put that up, and then take the other two wheel well panels down and line those with Reflectix. I also have the top to the wheel well. There's a lot of space in there that I don't really want to waste. I've covered all of the open areas with insulation now. So what I think I want to do is I want to line this with Reflectix, and then I'm going to put some like magnets on the corners and some magnets down on the frame, so that I can just kind of clip it into place, sort of. And it'll be magnetized so it'll stay there, but I can also pop it off and have access to just put, you know, maybe off-season clothing or different things in here.